So, I don't have a map. I'd love to have some post-apocalyptic map tools, but they don't exist that I can find. So, this man steps forward and has pulled up his mask, and he's isn't pointing his rifle at you, but he has it point towards the ground. And he looks at you. And he speaks in a language that you do not understand. Parts of it seem familiar to the language that you know, but it's like some weird dialect that's far removed. And he holds his hand up, palm facing you. And Trace is able to translate. Although it is rough, it's a dialect that she has not heard. But she's able to work it out after a while. It takes some time. He keeps speaking. And then so as I communicate from him, it's actually Saul saying this. So rather than me going, well, not Saul, Trace. So rather than me saying, Saul, have Trace say this, I will just speak. Why have you come here?
Okay, I'm gonna step forward in front of everyone and just be like, we're collecting some of our own.
And were they down here below?
We found our people, but we wanted to know more about this place.
This place is our home, as it has been for generations. You have invaded it.
That wasn't the plan. We found a new place. We were searching it.
Is it the water you are after?
We've heard of the water. Is it true?
It is. My people have cared for the treatment of this water for generations. Since the before time.
We have a settlement of our own. Good water would be useful to us. We have things we might be able to trade for it.
But as we have experienced, a resource such as ours is generally coveted and taken. What assurance do we have? If you were in my position, with a community to protect, with young as well as old, what would you do?
Well, we came looking for those that went missing of our tribe. If we go missing, more will come. Angrier. I can go back to my people with a discovery and an offer of a deal. My people are not conquerors. We do not. We have taken over no other tribes. I speak for a large part of our tribe, and my voice carries weight. I do not anticipate anyone wanting to wage war over it. Not when they could get it simply by exchanging things that we have too much of. But our lives are precious. We have no cubs. And when we lose one of ours, we lose them forever. That makes people angry.
You have no children?
Only those that grow older.
What has happened?
They will have none of their own.
You are barren. Like I wanted to have you make a roll for.
What do you need me to roll for?
Trying to find the skill to be most suspect. Actually, it would be scout. In fact, all of you who are down there could roll scout, or let's see. It's got to be scan for mechanicals. I'll roll for you, Saul, obviously.
Nice.
2 successes for Saul, for Trace.
Vinny's not even gonna bother. 1 dice. Oh, nice.
2 successes for Rand.
Do I not have the ability to push that roll?
You should. You do it from your
Oh,
character
there.
sheet.
Never mind. I was just looking in the wrong place.
Uh-oh.
Nope, still nothing.
Now you've hurt your wits. It's giving you some confusion. Well, the 2 mechanicals. When Orson was speaking about how his views carry weight, this red-headed mutant who was there, Nelma, she scoffed at that, trying to keep it subtle, but you noticed it. The bear was too busy. Connie made the roll as well. Clocked it. She'll be tattling later. This man continues. I am called Lottrell.
I'm called Orson. These are the Kodiaks.
In order for me to consider anything further, it's not something that I can make a decision so quickly. I trust you could understand that.
Consult with your people and make your decision. We will back out of your underground here so as to not make you feel invaded.
I have a request. If we were to help you, you could help us.
That's exactly what I would like to do.
Behind you, down the other corridor, is a tank that is not preserved. The water in it is not pure. And over generations, its contamination has grown. And a parasite has mutated and grown and grown and grown. My people have offered it sacrifices. And in order to appease it, and it has taken some of our own, it has grown beyond our ability to deal with it with our limited weaponry. If you could eliminate this creature, I would be open to much more of a trade deal.
It lives in that tank back there?
Yes. The tank goes deeper, and I suspect at one point it has an opening out into the water outside the island.
Okay, it was my first thought was just seal it up in there, but
The catwalk that leads above it would take you further back to where it will likely find you. But I would warn you to not get dragged down into the water with it.
if we were to fight this thing and wound it, how would we stop it from just fleeing down into the waters and escaping out through whatever its escape route is?
I do not believe it can escape anymore. It has grown too large. And its hunger seems to know no bounds. Doing so, I will provide you with as much pure water as you can carry.
Okay. Well, while you speak to your people, I'll speak to my people, and we will see if this is something we will do.
He bows his head and takes a few steps backwards, keeping an eye on you all.
Yeah. We
Before
can
turning.
do the same and just gradually work ourselves away from each other. Head back up to the surface. And then once we're alone, we can talk.
Tracing your way back, it's not too far. There is the stairs to go up, and then you have to kind of duck at the part that was partially collapsed, especially the bear. On the way up, Connie walks beside you, Orson. The redhead mocked you behind your
Okay.
back.
I'll deal with that one at a later time.
It was all I could do to keep from striking her myself.
I noticed the same as well. I do not trust her to not go back and tell Maximon everything and them attacking.
Let's talk first, and I'll discipline after.
So are you going up to the control room to where you were?
Actually, you know what? Let's just take care of this now. And I'll just sort
the
of
bear's anger, just sort of, I'll deal with it. Son of a bitch.
and so I just sort of spin around and pin the redhead up against the wall, and it's like, "You think I'm funny?"
Her eyes go really big. No,
I just let the pressure just sort of push in a little bit more to where it starts to get a little bit painful. It's like, what does my voice carry weight with you?
your grip is pretty strong on her neck, but you can tell she is trying to nod up and down. Yes.
So I'll ease off a little bit at that point. It's just like, the Kodiaks are part of the strength of the runway. I am the strength of the Kodiaks. Do not mock us. You will obey me while you are here, and when we decide how we will behave when we go back, you will obey that as well.
Let's have an intimidation roll here.
You mean a dominate roll?
Dominate roll, that's right. I forgot it's different for you. Let's see. More people on your side, so you got +1. Technically, it doesn't cost you anything. Okay, that's going to equal out. So a no bonus. So
Okay.
just a straight roll. 1 success, and that's all you needed. And she has her countenance, well, she's still choking, but her eyes are no longer bold and defiant. She's just very scared.
Alright, and at that point I'm going to ease off and let her breathe. It's better. Just don't make me think of you when I get hungry.
Her eyes got really big at that.
Then I turn around and walk back into the room with everyone else.
Ran, you see this. the ferocity of this bear. Well, you've seen two sides of this bear, actually. Someone who could negotiate and someone who doesn't take crap from anyone. But
And sitting there. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, it's all right. You carry on.
I was gonna say, let's get everyone sat down and be like, well, you heard my words in there. I think my plan is solid, but I want to hear from you if anyone has any other anything else to say about it. And is Vinny back over here with us?
He is, although Unicorn just went to bio break.
Okay.
Connie pipes in and I say we do it. I'm itching for a fight.
My concern is we don't know much of anything about this creature or what it can do. There's a catwalk around it. I figure staying up there and shooting at it is probably the best plan, especially if it can't escape. But I think if there's anything we could do to trap it inside that tank, to put something over the top of it, ropes, cables, mesh, whatever, anything we could do that we could still attack it through and keep it from coming out after us would be a good idea.
Connie's got her crossbow out and is checking it over. A lot of the other Kodiaks are getting their weapons out just to.
What's our count on bullets right now?
Well, let's see. Your gang loot. You've got 6.
Okay.
Connie says I've got 7. I've got 7 arrows. Crystal, I have 4 bullets.
Trace should have a few.
Sisu carries a machete, but he says, I've got 3 bullets. Trace, you have 3. Annika
All right.
carries a scrap rifles. I got 9. 9 bullets. And Eobard, who carries a machete, says, I got 3.
All right. Who has a gun and has less than 5 bullets?
That would be me.
All right. How many do you have?
3.
3.
You have 3? Here, I'll give you 3 bullets.
Thank you.
That's just from my own stash. And that's our only one who's in that situation?
Yeah.
All right. Everyone who has, like, just a hand weapon and bullets, loan the ones with the guns your bullets so that they have them if they need them. But otherwise, when the fight's over, they give them back to you.
That's Zissou and Eobard, and they both nod. You see that of the 3 mutants that are here, Lambda, the gearhead, has a scrap pistol with 3 barrels. Nelma, the cocky one, only has an axe. And Grit has got a spiked bat.
Okay. So for shooting things, we use agility, right?
Yes.
Do I have anybody with high agility who does not have a gun?
Well, you know that Eobard is pretty
Actually-
limber.
Okay. I'm gonna let him use my.
that-
I'm gonna let him go ahead.
I'll say Vinny also actually does have high agility, but no weapon.
Okay, Vinny, I'm gonna hand you my shotgun, and I'll give you 6 bullets for it.
If need be, I could give someone my shotgun. I still have my drone that I could use, as well as my cables.
Wait, how good of a shot are you?
Don't think I have much in the way of, if any, points in that skill.
'Cause I'm not a very good shot.
I think I lucked out so far.
Vinny, you do have a scrap rifle.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I had gotten one.
Yeah, I just want to make sure our best shots have guns. That's my goal here. So if there are any people who are like, I have a total of 2 combining my agility and shoot. So someone better than me needs to have this shotgun.
Although a scrap rifle has to be reloaded. So you can only shoot every other round. So a shotgun allows you to shoot every round.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna lay it out there with 6 bullets, and let everybody figure out who the best person to have it is, because they know their skills.
Vinny, you're a player, so you get first choice. Before an NPC will take it.
Yeah, Vinny would definitely greedily grab it up. Like, I'll use this one.
Okay, and let them put your rifle out for someone else to use.
All right, I put the shotgun in your inventory, and
Sweet.
I'll put a scrap rifle in with Eobard.
Yeah, and the 6 bullets I'm gonna give him are coming from the group supply. Okay. You said we had 6 there, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Vinny already has 10 though, but
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right.
give it back.
You don't need those.
Okay, everyone is equipped.
All right. So we go back. We fight this thing for them. We kill it. And then I have a good feeling about this person. I think they'll honor a deal, but we need to be ready to fight our way out in case they double cross us.
The Kodiaks nod.
So whenever we go to speak to them, I want everyone in position to have a fighting retreat out of here. Now, ideas for ways that we can contain this thing so it can't jump up out of that vat and attack us if we can stop it.
Well, depending on its size, maybe I can capture it in my wires and pin it down.
Good idea. Any others? I
And
mean,
the Kodiaks are shaking their heads. You know, they can't think of anything. There's lots of scrap down there.
There is? Is there something we could build or throw, or... I mean, what if we just got long, sharp poles to keep it away from us?
Crystal says, I think I saw something like that down there. At the bottom of the stairs, before you get into where the vats are, there's all that machinery. I thought I saw some long, like, pipes.
Okay. So we take some of those, we sharpen up the tips of them, we use them like long spears. Those of us who don't have guns, we try to corral it, while the people with guns shoot it. Sound like a plan?
Yes, boss.
Good. Let's not complicate it by overthinking it then. We'll go down, we'll tell them our plan, they'll give us some time to get these pipes, get them sharpened up and get ready, and then we'll do it.
Okay.
Alright, so let's pack up and move out.
So that would be Zissou on a pipe, Grit on a pipe, and Nelma on a pipe.
Me as well.
Ah, so that's 4. Okay, you get down to the bottom, and you do indeed. Crystal was right. You do find enough pipes for this, and some of them, when they break off, they've already got a point as they are. For 2 of you, you're having to modify it a bit.
Something these would probably just count as scrap spears.
Yeah. There's no stats for scrap pikes. So.
Yeah. Alright, I just went ahead and gave myself a scrap spear.
Alright, I did that for Zissou and doing so for Grit and Nelma. Alright. Now, without a map, let's set this up. So you carry on down there. You can see down the left hand where the zone ghouls have their encampment. Very far in the distance, you can see that there are eyes watching you, hidden behind their tents and lodging beds that they have put up. They're not trying to make themselves look hidden, but they're also not trying to be very obvious. And let's see. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What about the dog handlers? You have them leaving the dogs behind? Or the dog handler, Crystal?
How tall is this vat?
It's quite... Okay, now I didn't describe it good enough for you. So, you have to climb a ladder to get up on a catwalk to get up over it. The vat itself is about 15 feet up, the lip of it. And the catwalk extends about 2 feet above that. The entire height of the ceiling underneath here is about 20, well, over 20 feet, but you can't quite get the full measurement of it. But there's enough height for you to stand up there, even a bear. You went down quite a bit of stairs to get down to this level. So it's taller than normal height of a sub-level. The ladder up to the catwalk looks to be completely intact and not something that you're going to fall off of, like what happened on the smokestack outside with Vinny.
Okay, so for the dogs, we'll keep them down at ground level. I don't want to try hauling them up ladders to the top of a catwalk, just in case anything comes out down there that they can deal with. Otherwise, they'll be barking.
Right, and Crystal says, or a double crossing from the zone ghouls.
Yeah. And then when we go up onto the catwalks, I want a pike with every person with a gun. Does that work out numbers wise?
Let's see. 4. 1, 2. There's 7 with a gun and 4 with a pike. So you can almost pair up with a pike.
Yeah. Well, people with guns stay close to the people with the pikes, and the job of the pikes is to try to keep this thing off of the people with the guns while they shoot it. So hopefully we can just keep herding it back and forth from one pike to the other while we shoot it.
Okay, so I'm going to put people in groups. So it's going to be theater of the mind. So I'm going to put the people with pikes into 4 groups. Let's see. Zissou. Nelia.
Vinny's with me.
Vinny is very nervously walking as close in your shadow as possible this entire time.
Connie's going with Zissou. No. Connie's going with Nelma because she doesn't trust her. Lando will go with Grit. Crystal will go with Zissou. The dogs stay at the base. Ran, where would you like to go? You may not recognize the tokens yet.
Yeah. I don't think, because I do range a little bit, but
there is
blah, blah, blah.
the bear has 1 person with him, and then the redhead has 1 person with her. And then Trace, where would you like to
go? I'll go with Orson.
All right.
Thinking if I gotta corral this thing with my cables, I'm gonna need some strength to hold it down.
That's smart. Okay. And then up the catwalk you go. Until you go. So if I just put you in this arrangement, doesn't mean that's what you're in, but
It works good enough for me. I can picture that as our little circle around the vat.
okay. And it's so as you get up to the top of the catwalk, it's actually an oblong sort of thing, and it goes back quite a bit, and it widens out. I mean, not the vat, but the platform that you stand on and the room that it is in. And you have found that the catwalk that you came up to, the ladder you used to get up to here, is more like an entry corridor. Then the room opens up. Are you being stealthy, or are you trying to make noise to attract it?
Right now, let's be quiet.
All right, let's have stealth rolls then. Sneak rolls, sorry. Infiltrate.
Sure, how good are you?
It's infiltrate for the mechanicals. Well, Connie's not very quiet, and neither is the bear. Neither is Ram.
I mean, it is a
Lord.
catwalk. It's a big metal clanky thing.
Yes.
Oh, Beowulf.
Oh my.
We're all just pong, 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 pong.
Oh my God, Nelma is just clang, clang. I don't know if I should bother rolling for anyone else because let's see how.
Well, they'll get a bonus because they're concealed under the sound of everyone else.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that thing hears us.
Trace was quiet. Looks back
Oh,
all
wow.
all the clumsy organics. Like seriously. Is
I
this
have
soon?
metal.
Let's see. No, the rabbit is noisy with his big old feet.
He's just hopping along.
Okay. Yes. Well, that didn't work out, and you feel actually vibrations from below the catwalk that you're walking on, and it surrounds the vat actually, and so I've spread you out around it, but it physically is connected to the vat, so that's where the vibrations translate up to it. But there is some movement that starts off subtly, but it gets much more rapid.
Andy, before we go into combat, can we do a quick bio break?
You know what? My old man bladder would not argue with that. So
All right. See you all in a few.
guess what? Oh my god. You're gonna hate me, guys, but when we came back from break, I forgot to put the recording off a break, so all of that combat. So let's sum up for the people watching at home. They fought the big beast, killed it quickly.
Yeah, we followed our plan of ringing it with big pikes that we had made out of pipes and the guns, and it got crappy initiative, so we pretty much just opened up into it and kept stabbing it and shooting it, and it never even got a turn.
Other than to just go blah and throw its tentacles about. Lots of water was obtained.
Yep. We made a deal to get a whole bunch of water and load up the cars with it, and we are setting up some potential trade by bringing a couple of their guys along so that they know the route back to the runway, so we can make deals with them in the future. And then we're packing up and heading out.
And that brings us to where we are. All right, so to get back, you're 2 and a bit zones away. With the cars, if you were all riding, you could be there in an hour.
Let's be there. Well, no, we can't all, because we're loading the cars up with as much water as we can.
Right. So walking is going to take you just over 2 hours.
Yeah, I guess it's going to take us over 2 hours then.
And you know the way now. So
I say sitting in the driver's seat of a car.
Yeah, we're going to walk. Who drives the other car? It's Trace, doesn't it?
Can't remember.
Trace, who wouldn't get tired from walking anyway. So you're on your way back. All right. Now, we are... I just took it off of break mode, but we are at the halfway point. I wondered if we wanted to take another little break, and then as we're about to change scenes.
If anybody needs a break, I'm fine with it. Otherwise, I'm good to go.
I just want a very, very brief one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
sure.
5 minutes.
Just be about
Sure.
a 5-minute one at most.
Okay. See y'all in 5.
All right. So you guys are on your way back. The big Kodiak convoy. Coming along this road system. So let's jump back to McKellen.
Okay.
And you were in the control tower. Well, not the very top, but about halfway up, as per your request, so you didn't get tired.
Yeah.
And you just finished the investigations and felt like you got lucky and that the trouble has been contained. Other than the 2 people who have been murdered. And wanting to keep that hush. Now, prior to this, recall that across the entire arc, tensions are high. Because there's murders. And it wasn't able to be kept completely under wraps. That it was committed internally of one of your own, the details of which have been spared. But ideas and opinions are rampant. And it's not been, over the past couple of days, it's not been uncommon to overhear arguments breaking out, or, of people debating about what to do. You're hearing things of, we should find who's done it, cast them out of the Ark, the Zone will take them. Or we should punish them, we should lock them away, some of the more humane, lock them away and never let them out, and some say, well, we should give them the same thing back and to take their lives. Various bits, various degrees of this sort of argument.
Yeah.
You've seen Marlot and her people of calming down some scuffles. In short, the Ark is a time bomb at the moment.
Andy, sorry to interrupt. I have to dip out for just a second. Got a little errand to take care of in the house, so I'll be right back.
Okay. And so you're just in the control room. This has just been decided. And these people are the 2 that you investigated were being escorted back out with orders to be quiet about things. Katinka was treating the one who had the parasite, and that's also in this area. So, not where she was found, but contained where she could be protected. How do you proceed?
So, Maximum, your intention is to brush this whole thing under the carpet? Are you sure that's entirely wise?
I hadn't decided yet. Initially,
Well,
is to just hold on to the knowledge for the moment before a panic happens.
that was certainly my thought whilst the murders were occurring. Now we found the source and eliminated it. I think we could nip this paranoia in the bud if we were to hold assembly and let people know what's happened and that the situation is over.
Yes. But it may not be easy convincing the others to be able to trust the two that were manipulated to murder.
It won't, but
They may never be trusted. And Brooke
To
may
release
never be
them-
trusted.
to release them and also leave everything quiet means tensions are going to be very high around those two, and I'd hate to think of them getting lynched for this kind of thing.
Right. We will call an assembly.
Yes, I think that's for the best. I'll speak before the people and see if I can convince people of the truth of this wild tale.
Maximon speaks to his people. Just begin to make preparations for assembly. I need to gather my thoughts. And he looks to
course.
you, McKellen. Within the next hour, if not the next half hour.
Alright, I shall see you at assembly then.
And some time passes, and the bridge now being complete, the cars can drive over it. When you guys are driving onto back on the Ark, these two cars you keep for yourself, are you leaving them parked by your plane when you're not using them? That was never discussed. Or were you putting them somewhere else? Anyone? Black had to step away.
I missed the first part. You said what were you asking?
The cars, where do you keep them now
Oh.
that you have a bridge to get over here? Do you keep them parked by your plane? You kept two of these cars for yourselves, I believe.
Somewhere we could access them easily, but others in the Ark couldn't without going through our encampment.
Well, you don't really have a wall around your plane, but there's a lot of you in and about it, so anybody wants to mess with
Yeah.
your cars, it's going to be, they know they're going to be easily spotted.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like in the middle of our hovels.
All right. You guys are driving back onto site. Well, driving / walking. Cars obviously laden down. And, I mean, never is it that when Vinny walks across the Ark that there isn't some looks, nervous looks, or when Trace walks across the Ark. But now here comes Vinny and Trace and a new mechanical, along with a giant bear driving a car that is laden down, with 4 of the other Kodiaks. I believe you had 4 of them with you.
Plus 2 strangers.
And 2 strangers who are wearing the mass of zone ghouls. and people are scattering.
All right. So what I'm going to do, since I'm in the car, I'm going to accelerate a little bit and get ahead of everyone and roll in there with a big car full of water, and try to get out and when I get out and like grab one of the, if we have like a clear thing with water where they can see into it, it's like, pure water, everyone! We've brought pure water!
And where would you do that? We were just, when you were away, we decided that you guys probably keep your cars next to your plane so you can keep an eye on them. The
Right.
road comes up right next to the elevated monorail station, and then you can drive underneath the track and get through into where your road is. But right there, just southwest of the T of terminal, is like an open area where people do gather.
Yeah, let's do it there.
Okay. And people were running, and like you're hearing like, there's ghouls. And then they see that, or see you have that water out, and they start tentatively they stop scattering, they just start to look for a while. And look at each other. And some of them start to come up to get water.
Yeah. I'm going to like pull whatever little drinking cup I carry around off of my belt and dip it down like in and take a thing out and like pour some in my mouth. Like, see, it's good.
You sure it's rot free?
Come, sip from my cup, drink from my own cup.
Like,
Just covered in bear spit.
yeah. I have my own. And right at that point, you start hearing the banging, calling for assembly. 10 or so people have managed to come forward to get water, and more are on their way. And
Yeah, I'm giving them tastes of it. I'm not giving them like a full serving of it, just so they can see that it's good. Because I don't want it to get all drunk up at once.
all right.
But we still probably go through, if you got 10 people coming up, we've probably gone through like 3 units of water by doing that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take care of that. Okay, and you see people, they're kind of giving you a wide berth still, but they don't look necessarily quite so fearful. But they're making their way into Arrival's Hall for assembly. And
Okay. I'm going to turn around to everyone as they come across the bridge, and I'm going to tell, and I don't want to leave a PC out, but they wouldn't welcome Rand showing up at assembly right now. I guess I could keep him and the other two back to present them if they're willing to allow me to introduce them to the assembly. So I'll have them follow along behind us, but keep their distance to where they are not in the assembly.
okay, is that okay with you, Callum?
Yeah.
Cool.
That way you're close enough to hear what people are saying in there, but they're not going to freak
Yeah.
out about you walking into our big assembly.
All right. As you go in, you notice that people are a lot more animated than normal.
I'm gonna leave some Kodiaks behind to watch over the loud wagon in the water.
And people are quite vocal. It's not just the pounding that's going on, but there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of raised voices. And just some murmuring as well. And you see McKellen. Room, would you be down more on the ground floor for this because you were planning to speak to the assembly?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to head into the center, I guess.
All right.
And I think I probably want Jar and Cole, the killers, with me. Probably some cards, ideally.
And some what? Sorry?
Probably some of Maximon's like heavies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Yeah, easily arranged.
So as we walk in, we're doing all of our banging and clanging on pipes and anything metal we can find along the way. And Orson is just clearly celebratory, like he's expecting to get some shit, but he's just assuming the assembly is about them coming back. You know, like he's walking in with just a big swagger, just this like, hey, everybody's so excited to see me.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I do give
Go ahead.
I do give the returning party a like an appreciative or like a relieved smile, but I do seem quite distracted otherwise.
And this strikes you as odd, those of you returning to see this. And after everyone is gathered, Maximon steps out to the center, and he's raising his arms to call order. Calling out, and it's drowned it out, and he says, brothers and sisters! And there's still rowdiness going on. People shouting. You can hear a few things. What are you going to do about it? Are we even safe? And Muba, the four-armed mutant, the gigantic four-armed mutant, steps out beside Maximon and just lets out this bellowous roar, leans back, holds all four arms out, just roar. And everyone shuts up. And Maximon is there, arms up, outstretched and raised. I know that there are questions. I know that you feel vulnerable and perhaps a bit unsafe. The dangers of the zone has come to our ark. But I have gathered you here to set the record straight and to end some of these rumors. So what are the facts? The facts are 2 of ours have been murdered. Beyond that, your speculations veer far away from what the truth turned out to be. And I, for one, will identify with that. At first, I suspected worse than what it actually is. But one of our chroniclers, and he gestures to McKellen,
Yeah, I give it like a slow nod.
has took it upon himself to investigate. And we have unraveled what has happened. I ask that you give him your ear. McKellen, the floor is yours. It's murmuring in the ranks.
Yeah, so I step forward into the center. People of the runway, these last few days have been a trial. We have lost friends and family, and I would like to start by asking you to join me in a moment's silence for Chase and Victor. Okay, clasp my hands and look down.
People look around a bit and then join in. There's a little bit of murmuring, but
Many of you, so after the moment's silence,
yeah.
will have been will have seen what has happened. Well, some of you will have seen what has happened, and many of you will be talking about what has happened over the last 2 days. The thought that your friends and neighbors could be responsible for such terrible crimes is, I am sure, something that is weighed upon your minds and hearts as we have gone through this. In my investigations, I indeed did discover that the killers were Jara and Cole. And I point to each of them.
And you hear, kill them! Cast them out of the Ark!
But what I have discovered in my wider investigation is that the runway faces a new threat. A new threat which, in its infancy, has been stopped by our new friends, Guardians of the Ancients. Katinka the robot has saved us from this threat. And what I speak of is some manner of parasite which dwells within the ruins of the old smoke. This parasite attached itself to one of our scouts. And I give the name of the scout that it was
Brooke.
infected. I forget.
It's Brooke.
Brooke. This parasite attached herself to our scout Brooke while she was in the ruins, influencing her mind and her gifts from the ancestors. This parasite caused her to control, as if they were puppets, the minds of Cole and Jara. And whilst they were the ones that struck the killing blows, this dreadful parasite was responsible for the crimes. And therefore, friends, family, neighbors, I ask you, do not seek retribution against these innocents. The parasite has been eliminated by our friend Katinka, and this threat is over. I shall answer any questions you may have.
There's quiet for a moment. And then Ascarshan steps forward. How are you sure of this? How are we to be assured that this was not a desperate attempt at an excuse to avoid retribution of these two?
Ascarshan, do you think that I would forgive the killer of one of my own brothers in the Chroniclers? Victor was a close friend of mine, and I come to you proclaiming that Cole is innocent of his murder. And I know that this was the case, that this mind parasite influenced his actions, because it did the very same to me myself. As Maximon can attest, this being corrupted my mind to compel me to attempt to kill Sixter in the control tower.
There's a lot of exclamations and murmuring about that, people looking at each other. Sixter is, of course, well known. And you hear one from the rank, not one of the leaders, but one of just a regular member. And what happens when the next parasite infects us? How do we defend ourselves from these parasites, and where are they? Are there more here on the Ark?
Yeah. Orson
That is a good question.
Orson actually bangs on a pipe for that. Like, yeah, that's a good point.
Then we remain vigilant. We shall seek them out. But this is a key moment to know that our new friends, the Mechanicals, They were not able to be influenced by these parasites, and it is thanks to the presence of the guardians of the ancestors that this threat has been ceased. So I would not listen to any tale of the foolishness of following the ways of the ancestors. The ancestors brought us through this trial, regardless of what any sentinel may tell you.
A lot of murmuring.
Has the elder been consulted about this?
I have taken solace in the elder. Last night, I spoke to him on this matter, and, as ever, he entrusts his chroniclers to deal with matters in the most sensible and calm manner, which we have done.
Maximon steps forward. I fully back up the findings of McKellen. I was kept aware of the developments of the investigation the entire way, and I witnessed firsthand much of the interactions and interrogations. It is my belief that the Ark is safe of any further parasites. But I place a ban upon the ruins to the north of this point exactly. Until further notice.
Okay, what's he referencing there in terms of the map?
It's the one that says mind parasite.
Oh, okay.
This is where they were investigating, the 3 that were out and got infected with it. And he's going to be a little more specific because they would be aware. East of the checkpoint. And north of the second circle. Those ruins are to be avoided.
I trust in the wisdom of the elder and into the testimony of these 2. I will go along with what they say, and so will the Kodiaks.
Skarshin steps forward, thumps his staff onto the ground. As will I, and the sentinels of the apocalypse. Marlot. Me and mine will keep an ever watchful eye now that we know what to look out for. I too will trust this judgment. And I will further add, if anyone decides to be a vigilante, to take out any sort of prejudice, fears against these 2, you will answer to me. She looks at Maximon when she says that. It gives her a little nod. Strina steps forward. I second everything that McKellen has said. The methods of the chroniclers are thorough. Therefore, his investigation would be thorough. She nods towards Maximum and looks upon you, McKellen, with pride.
Nod back. Then this matter is closed. Remember,
Right.
these are you still your friends, still your family, still your neighbors. The paranoia ends now.
Okay.
I see we have a returning group.
Yeah, I
Perhaps you
thumped
would
my
like to
bad, and I'm
report.
like, new business. Vinny, explain. Tell them of our journey.
Vinny comes forward.
There's a noticeable shifting of seats, discomfort.
It's around. Brothers and sisters of the Ark, a great discovery has been made. As some of you know, we have returned with quite a bit of fresh water and new allies. It is a turning point for our Ark.
How much water? This is Maximum. Were you successful? Were the rumors true of the island?
We found an island, yes. I would even call it a facility.
And we brought back our lost people.
We've learned many things, including something which we found surprising. It was brought to our awareness that Maximon perhaps knew of this water and tried to hide it from the Ark.
Lots of exclamations. What?
Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. What is this? Maximon says. You make
found your
these
own
claims?
people Not claims, but fact, Maximon. Your own people were in dire straits, surrounded by zone ghouls and fierce tentacled creatures. And all so that you might have personal claim over the water.
These accusations. There is no evidence of this.
I would like to read his mind.
Who? Maximon's?
Maximum.
Okay. Is it a single a mutation point?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. No, I'm gonna spend 2 to answer. Is he lying, and what is he thinking right now?
Okay.
I roll equal to the amount I've spent, don't I?
Yes, 2 dice.
Yeah.
All goes well.
That's normal.
Is he lying? Yes. Yes, he is. What is he thinking right now? Oh dear. The Ark is already in uproar. Fears could be turned my way. I'm fearing of losing control of the Ark.
Two days ago, Maximon stood before us here at Assembly and claimed that rebels of the Ark had left on their own to try and seek out a water source We have come to learn that it was under Maximon's direct order that they do so. Whether he intended to share the water with the rest of us, who's to say? We all know that Maximon has a desire for power and glory. But at what cost? Orson, the fearless leader of our dear Kodiaks, single-handedly slew a foul beast of the wastes.
Don't
And we-
exaggerate, Finny. I had help.
And where was Maximon? Hiding here in his precious tower, letting his own people risk their lives and even die for his greed and narcissism.
I was here, investigating, seeing that this arc stayed intact from, at the time, murders running rampant in our ranks. All supplies are shared. All supplies. That has always been the way. These that you rescued, they were from my ranks. The rumors of the island and its potential to contain a pure source of water was one that more than my ranks knew. So yeah, I had a plan to investigate it. There must be some misunderstanding. My ranks must have overheard me doing that and went on their own. But the intention is still the same, is it not, brothers and sisters?
While you may have intended to share this water with the Ark, it is no doubt in anyone's mind that you hunger for the power. Ever since the Elder became sick, you have taken it upon yourself to be some sort of de facto faux leader, calling these assemblies, acting as if you're the final decision maker. Well, no one voted you into any such role, mighty Maximon. And as we've learned, you only care about yourself. You do not care about anyone else, though you might claim otherwise.
I don't believe this. I have always led for the good of all. I stepped up when the Elder went into the background through his illness. I stepped up because there were more numbers with my group to help maintain order until the Elder returns. And this is the thanks that I get? Have you all, he looks up to the whole assembly, have you all not been kept safe?
Marlot's people have done far more to protect our safety than you, Maximon. Even the Kodiaks. I think it's time you stepped down.
Lots of murmuring. And there's a few poundings going on as well with the pipes and such. And I'm thinking a contested manipulation between you and Maximon.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm trying to look up the context of manipulate, because I was thinking the same thing.
So, I think the regular mods are going to work for this. Oh, this is going to be interesting. And your empathy is already down by 2 points.
I know.
Okay. Let's see. For you, your mods, you do not have more people on your side, so...
Well, if I fail, he might attack.
Yeah. This could be real interesting here very soon. Let's see. Okay, so far +1 for you. +2. Oh, I see how we'll do this. And then -1 because he has more people, so now you'd have the +1. No, I'm going to do this differently. Okay, it'll be a +2 in your roll. I'm not. This is not the normal rules for this. I want to do it differently. And then for him, all right. Make your roll.
Said +1 base.
+2 total. But you could have any sort of assistance from anyone? Orson, perhaps?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, what I'm going to do is just as they are having this contest, as they're doing it, I am just going to visibly be behind Vinny, just to where he is just like silhouetted by me. And that is, I do not have, he's using manipulate, right?
Yeah.
In place of that, I have dominate.
That's
so
fine.
That's
fine.
So do I need to roll anything, or does he just get a bonus dice?
He just gets a bonus dice for that, and I'm going to have Trace disappeared while this was happening. And right at that point, she comes in carrying this large container of pure water and sets it down quite roughly, actually, to make a point, and it sloshes right in front of you both. So make your roll +3.
I'm gonna push that. Because I can and I need mutation points.
Oh, tied.
Whoa.
You won.
I'm actually going to intercede as well. So just before anyone in the crowd makes up their minds, I'm going to step forward and goes, "We are a community. We are at the precipice of achieving great things, and we cannot have our community fall apart due to infighting. If Maximon has acted with selfish interests, then he shall stand to account for that. But we should not be here tearing each other apart." And I pull out the Eden key card and hold it up. "I have here a key, which the Elder has informed me is the key to the origin. This could be the first step in us finding Eden, and so close to achieving such a goal of having our people find Eden, we cannot collapse." And I'm going to use Inspire to actually take successes away from Vinny.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
god.
Oh, that was
So,
bad.
also on top of this, my push broke me. It brought my empathy to 0.
Oh no.
So I break down in I just have an emotional breakdown essentially. It says fear, self-pity, or sorrow.
you just get more and more dramatic in your thing. Tears start pouring out of your eyes.
Intense.
Look at those successes there. God.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily standing in for Maximum, but I don't want him to torn down.
You know, Orson is visibly annoyed with you, just really giving you the stink eye. But Vinny's breaking down over here, and he immediately sort of scoops him away back over into the rest of the Kodiaks to where he's out of sight of everyone, and takes his place.
I have to roll a d6. What the heck?
Why?
To see how many hours it takes to regain 1 empathy.
Oh.
Why did it do that? Oh, because I put 0 in the base. I'm an idiot.
3
3
hours.
I'm just very weak after my trip to the zone.
Escartian, Estrina, and Marlot step forward. Regardless of opinions, this is Marlot, by the way. Chaos is not in any of our best interests.
Yeah.
Let us look to what we do have. We have an end to the murders. We have learned that none of our own are responsible. And we have a large supply of fresh, pure water.
And new partners to trade with.
What is this you speak of?
My pomp, stomp my club. New business. We, in speaking with their people who live at the water, at the place of pure water, they have pure water, but they did not. We have things they may need. We can trade for more with them in the future. We have 2 of their people with us. They're dressed as zone ghouls, but that's just their clothes. They are normal underneath. We have brought them here so that they may learn the way to us. We know the way to them. Now we can begin to trade back and forth for the things that each of us need, and we can get clean water in return.
This is an arranged deal?
It is an open offer. We have already traded for water with them, and they made good on their promise.
How much water have you brought?
2 loud wagons worth.
A lot of murmuring, whispers. Because what you have here in your ark, you have a single small water purifier that hangs in the balance. If it fails to work, you have no other source. And now you have.
The thing that I've promised them in return, I mean, in addition to fair trade, is that our people will not come and try to take their settlement from them. That we are trading partners. Not necessarily allies, but we can see where that goes in the future.
Maximon, who had been silenced by the uproar previously and fear that he has lost his control. You can still see that there's doubts on his face that he can rescue this entirely back to the way it was. Orson, how much do they have? Is this a finite supply?
They make more. They purify their own water. Just like we grow our own crops.
And is it like how we have, so there's a small trickle of it?
I've only seen a small part of their operation. I can't say how much they can make, but I think they can make more water than we can make food.
There's a lot of murmurs amongst people, pounding of the pipes. Very well. I think emotions are high right now, which is an understatement. Let us adjourn and calm down till we can discuss things more civilly. We have much to consider here. For now, let us share in this water. We have two of our own to bury. Let us pay our respects. Meeting adjourned. Pound, 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 pound. So Vinny has collapsed just in an emotional state.
I'm going to, as people are sort of dispersing, I want to get, like, touch Maximon on the arm and, like, draw him in briefly and look at him. Goes, I know that you did what they said that you've done. I looked upon your thoughts. And I spoke in your favor. Well, I spoke in favor of the Ark, because the Ark needs stability over everything else. Now, working with you over the past day or two has proven to me that you can be a good leader. And you bring that stability that the Ark sorely needs. But think of the Ark first, or you're lost.
And he looks at you and he locks his gaze, he looks you in the eyes, and then he looks down. Very subtle shaking of his head in agreement. You can see he's exhausted. His constant confidence has taken a hit.
She'll leave it at that. And I head off.
And the mood of the Ark is it's still not perfectly stable. There's a bit of what's the word here? People not quite sure what to think. There's just a lot of people are silent as they walk away, and some are just talking quietly amongst each other. Some are excited, still speaking of Eden, which is the promise for many. Maybe things could be true. And as assembly is beginning to disperse, Marlot comes up to you, Orson.
Mm-hmm.
Quite the fireworks.
Yes. Frustrating. We had a chance to see a change in leadership. I think people got too frightened of change.
That is always the way. You certainly made the people think. Perhaps if nothing else. Maximon will do better.
I think he'll need close watching after this.
Maybe in more ways than one. She gets really quiet.
You could hear how thirsty he was for their water when he was asking about it.
You know, you and your gang. Very well could be perceived as a threat from him. But watch your back. And the way she's saying, I'm not sure if I'm conveying it right. She's not giving you a threat.
Yeah.
Because as you know, you have an ally with her. She's not really part of the Kodiaks. She's independent, but she does see what you're doing. And is very well at what Maximon is doing.
All right. I nod my head at her and move off and motion for the Kodiaks to file out.
And then Marlot's. But my goodness, Orson. 3 mechanicals. 3 mechanicals in the space of just a few weeks.
It's what happens when we explore the world. We find new things, old things. We're going to have to keep looking. There's a lot out there.
I would just be cautious. There's only so much change that people can adapt to in a short space of time. You and yours have inspired a lot of improvements here on the Ark. We haven't had that since we first made our initial sort of living arrangements.
Change may have to come fast. There are big dangers out there, things that would eat us whole. We need to become better, become stronger.
You don't have to convince me. I have supported the changes. The majority of them, especially relates to defense. I'm just here to keep the peace. Good evening to you, Orson. But I wouldn't mind a cup of that water.
Come out. Try some.
Alright, Vinny is in a wreck.
I can basically only walk. I think I would actually go to the temple and maybe try to speak with Escartian and spend my time there for my recovery.
That makes sense. You have talked with him quite a bit. You're doing that. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna get back to the other Kodiaks. Alright, it's good to see you all back. Apologize, it's probably not the welcome you were wanting.
Orson makes sure Vinny is taken where he wants to go, and then he goes and he finds like just an old room where a bunch of old baggage is, and he goes in there and just starts just mangling it, just throwing it around and smashing it against each other. Is working out some frustration.
You've been making this picture. Is it that, or is it Christmas morning for Orson?
It's a very dainty little box, though.
I hope I get that bike.
I hate wrapping paper.
Just give it to me.
It's such a waste.
Trace comes up to Ran. If robots can show excitement, well, she does have a behavior with their sentience, but she is clearly happy to have another mechanical. And Ran, I would like to show you around and to introduce you to Katinka. Another mechanical of ours. I forget Katinka's model number. Katinka RPS 236.
Please, lead the way.
The organics, their emotions get away with them sometimes, which you have just witnessed. They will calm down. I'll take you up farther
Realism is
first.
temporary.
Yes. We'll move away from them now for the moment. And what is to become of these two ghouls, who, keep in mind what they have just witnessed. Vinny is in a state, needed to be carried, is that right?
No, he was able to walk.
All right.
It's like I'm just emotionally unhinged.
People are making a wide berth of you. And Orson's gone off to throw things about. Trace has taken Rand for a walk. And these two ghouls are just stood here with the rest of the Kodiaks. At least the ones who went out. Who will lead them back towards the plane? Yes. Sorry, Rune, what did you say?
I was going to ask. I'll ask Connie about them. Like, Lawson mentioned that you brought newcomers with you. Who are these two?
Yes. These are two representatives of their people. She's speaking kind of quietly. That I don't know if they're representative of all that we call zone ghouls, but they're people. They're people untouched by the rot. People with no evolutions, no blessings like we have here on the Ark.
You don't mean like the ancestors?
That is what Trace said.
Goodness, I remember at the wheel they said that they had found some, or heard some tell of descendants of the ancestors still living underground somewhere.
No, these had been living there for centuries, I think, since before the calamity. Generation after generation. Hidden on that island.
It's incredible.
It is.
And I'm going to approach these two.
Ye-
Welcome to the runway. I am McKellen. I am one of what we call the Chroniclers. We are the advisors to our elder, and we keep things running as smoothly as we can here.
They look at each other and they speak a language back to you that you don't understand. You, being a chronicler though,
That's right, comprehension, I mean.
yeah, let's have, let's see. Hold on, where are you at? Yeah, let's do that, but at a, let's do a -2 on this, so it's going to have to be a pretty decent roll. At least you got 5 dice in it.
Does that come off the base or the skill?
The skill, always the skill. So the skill
Skill,
gets the
okay.
bonuses and the penalties. You got one. Although you're not able to interpret it, I mean, or be able to know exactly every word they said, you have gotten the gist of it. Which is partly, which is basically, I don't understand you.
Yeah.
Um,
And in terms of what it sounds like,
it's,
I guess maybe do we have any kind of like scraps of knowledge of like ancient languages? Like, is this French or something?
no, you, which, being a learned man that you are, you feel like they're speaking, let's see how to describe it.
Is it like if we were to hear someone speaking like Anglo-Saxon or something? Are they like a older form of what we're speaking?
It's like slang that has evolved for a couple of centuries. So you hear roots of words that are English, but I can describe it to you in modern terms. It's like
It's more like we're speaking Old English to them.
yeah. The rest of you may not know what this means. This is a British thing, but it's like if you were trying to understand a road boy from London.
Yeah, difficult.
Good
Yeah.
man.
Road map, yes.
Wagwan, bruv. And so,
In which case, I'm just going to gesture to them like, you are our guests here. If there's anything you would like to eat, and I'll gesture eating, or if you need rest, I'll do like that sort of 2 hands by my head to sort of like sleep kind of gesture. Then we will make you welcome.
And they nod.
At that point, Orson comes out of whatever side room he's in, holding like this, tossing away what's left of this piece of luggage. And he sees you and just shoots you just a fucking dirty look. And he hears the last little piece of what you're saying, and he just motions to the two of them. It's like, come follow me. And sees if they follow him.
They do.
Okay.
I'm also going to follow them. And I'm not shooting Orson a mean look back or anything. I'll just say it had to be done, Orson.
I'm gonna kind of round on you at that point. It's like, we had a chance to change the leadership. We could have had someone new in there, someone more malleable, someone we could work with better. I think you were thinking of the change too broadly.
You have been spending far too much time with Vinny. You couldn't see what he was doing there. These political power plays, they have costs, Orson. Nature abhors a vacuum, and that vacuum would have been filled with chaos had Maximum fell.
I don't like arguments, and I don't want to hit you. I like you too much for that, so I'm going to stop talking. But I'm still angry. And I just turn around and walk off.
Understood.
Remember, his only social skill is dominate.
That's it. That is it.
And he's going to lead our two guests back to us, because I feel like, for one, we need to get the cars, get them put away, get the water safely stored, and I want to make sure that no one freaks out on these guys because they look like zone ghouls, and keep them around the Kodiaks where I know they're gonna be safe, and get them fed and get some water in and show them our crops and stuff.
Unicorn, I assume, because the chat just says the Kodiaks. Is that you that put the saying someone can also roll heal?
That was just an aside. Future, like, someone could have potential, but there really wasn't anyone who would have done that in the moment, and
There's a Scarshan
I would have just...
at the temple.
Oh, that's true. So, metagaming, I'm thinking more I would go to the temple and have a moment with him to recover all my empathy.
Okay. All right, that will take. Well, that's what, 3 hours you rolled, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can you use heal on that, or is it just the time?
In the book it says every ability can be recovered with a heal roll.
Oh.
And after 3 hours, I regain 1, and at that point, I can do a normal recovery action, whatever it is, for the ability.
All right. Yes. So do you need a heal roll from him?
No,
Okay. All right.
just need a role play with him.
I'm gonna pause just briefly for a brief bio. It's gonna be like 1 minute. Sorry, guys. And then
Okay.
we've got like 14 minutes left. Be right back.
That was a great scene. A lot just happened in an hour. Dude, the fact you can use insight to take away people's successes or inspire is amazing.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Ran.
Yes.
Walking about, Trace, as she is showing you around. This sentience that we gained, it came upon me quite suddenly.
Okay, I'm back.
I'm back.
Sorry, I was just role playing with Ran. Suddenly, I found myself. This is Trace and Ran. Started to question the orders that the ancients had given me and why I was doing it. I started to think about what I wanted, and the concept of even thinking sort of snuck up on me and surprised me. Was it like that for you?
It's hard to explain such feelings coming all of a sudden. It's
Agreed.
as if the darkness of which I held myself and what I do has found a light somewhere. But yes,
When did it happen for you?
it's been a while. Oh, when did you reach and come to understand and feel the way you do?
It wasn't very long ago. Just a couple of years. I wandered, trying to make sense of the world around me. I was in a facility, a manufacturing facility called Mechatron 7. Eventually, my curiosity led me to leave the place, and I wandered across the zones. And experienced different things, saw the destruction that the organics had done to themselves, or had been done to them. No one had any answers. I eventually came upon a great river. And I found myself on a barge, or part of one anyway. And I floated down the river, lying on my back, watching the sky pass by. I must confess, at the moment, I did not know what would happen to me and what I wanted. I saw many things along the river. A building that shot fire into the sky. A balloon, a large balloon that floats. And then a very large bear stopped my journey down the river. And to my surprise, he could speak. And that was Orson, as I'm sure you could guess. And from the beginning, he treated me not with fear, but he trusted me. And somehow I knew I could trust him. The other organics were very frightened of me here at first, But he made sure that they were not allowed to act upon it. He is very open. He will do the same for you. My advice, as I feel like you've already expressed, but help the organics, and they will in turn help you. That is how their programming seems to work.
I see. But thank you for helping me back there.
It
I
is my
don't know.
honor.
I couldn't have done anything.
This is what I've learned from the organics. They may be vulnerable to age, sickness, but they have a wisdom. There is strength in helping each other. And with a number of vulnerabilities and destruction around us, help is what we need. Personally, I'm also glad to have another mechanical friend. Especially times right now when the organics are having a bit of a what I call an emotional moment.
Do we not succumb to emotion? We feel and think in some ways that they do.
I must confess that I have not pondered that. I do experience frustration. I do experience the desire to be with others. I must think about that. Do you feel that you feel emotion or succumb to it?
I have felt scared when I was trapped. I will not lie to you. But I am still learning what it is to be me, I guess, with these ideas and emotions. But time will come, and I will learn, as all things should.
Well, I am delighted to be a part of that journey. But come, let me show you what's left of what they call the runway. She takes you further north, on the northern edge of the little island here. Back in the temple, Starshan comes and sits beside you, Vinny. Quite a time, huh?
Our community is at a turning point.
It is. It is. With all the changes that we have put into play here, I was already making a journey.
Yes, but where will it end? Where does that journey take us? And what will Maximon have to say about it? My time in the zone recently has opened my eyes a bit. My time with you in this temple has opened my eyes a bit. I feel something. Something feels different.
One thing is certain. Change is coming. We are all unstable right now. Things that have held true for the last several years of our lives are all upturned. People question.
Our understanding of the technologies of the past has grown at an exponential rate. But we lack culture. And the culture which Maximon brings is not the one that I think is what the Ark needs. I know you and your people don't approve of or trust the artifacts. Where do you find your strength, Oskarsson?
I find it within. The artifacts. Look around. Look around this big smoke. What did it do for the ancients? It didn't save them. Now, I do not profess to have knowledge of their life the way it was for them. I can only see the aftermath. But as for me and the other sentinels, we look within and we look to each other for strength. And we ask ourselves, what do we know to be true? What can be proven? And I know that a life more simple is a life more free of stress.
There is nothing simple about this life. I envy you and your ability to see it so.
I do see what you speak of. And I will confess I do feel it from time to time. But I choose not to let it dominate me. If I begin to feel too much of the uncertainty, I withdraw. I withdraw and meditate.
What does your meditation bring you? What does your connection to the first mutant bring you? Is it enough? More and more my mind dwells on these things. Spending time in this temple, amongst your council. We now own war wagons. We've faced the evils of the zone. Our entire understanding of zone ghouls could be wrong. our defenses are up, our knowledge of warfare grows. We're being pulled in all directions, and then there's Maximon just standing in the center, doing nothing to actually help the growth of this arc. Not like we are. Not like you and I, or even Marlot and the Seers.
What I see, Vinny, I see many things, as you know. What Maximon has is a personality. Not that Orson does not. But that will only lead the people so far. What speaks to the people is stability. This is what I mean by the meditation. I gain stability. People gain it in their own way. Having a steady supply of food, now a steady supply of water. The defenses, building up the defenses as you and yours did. People feel safer with that. The murders that couldn't have come at a bad time, worse time. When people were feeling so safe within our little fortress here. Danger came from within. People will heal. We continue to move on. We continue to bring stability and the feelings of being safe. That is our mission. Perhaps I leave you to think upon that.
Do not leave just yet, Lord Escartian, please. Your company... Well, I find it peaceful. And I need peace right now.
I'm not leaving. But I will let you think
Will you?
on your thoughts if you wish.
I have many thoughts. The annual rites we work on, I believe, are of utmost importance, more so than ever now after today. I also have a deep-seated fear of what Maximon might do after what I've done today, in a full witness of an arc.
There is that.
And now I'm going to kind of, maybe not, I'm going to subtly, what will I say? I do not think that our arc will survive with Maximon in his position. I think he needs to be taken. And so I'm kind of implying something very dark, and I want to roll sense emotion on Escartian to see where he might stand on, potentially murdering Maximon and creating some kind of plan to do so with me.
Let's see.
So sense emotion is a weird one.
Let me look that up real quick. Let's see, where's it at?
Read another mutant like a book. Sense emotion is against manipulation or trying to know an NPC's mood or intent toward you. If you fail, you don't read them, or you can be fed false information. On a success, the most powerful emotions being felt by the NPC are revealed. For every extra success, are they truthful? Do they want to hurt me? Do they want something from me?
Okay, let's see. Okay. All right. That is a... I take it this is after the time?
Yeah.
Because, you know, your empathy is back up.
Well, essentially, he would have waited the 3 hours to even come talk to me, and then we have a close moment, and now I'm trying to do Vinny stuff against him.
Benny stuff, I love it. Such a manipulator. Such a
I'm gonna
green
push it because I need MP points.
Wow. Bet you're not getting them, but you're getting successes.
Yeah.
You've got 2 stunts. No, that's not true. You got 3. You can. There's all 3 of those questions.
All of them. So I essentially proposed to him, in maybe not so many words, that we employ a strategy to assassinate Maximon, and I'm trying to see how he feels about that.
Let's see. How do I do a modification of these questions to fit the situation? Okay. Is he telling the truth? I'll let that modify to, do you feel like he likes the idea? And you get a positive there. Like, the exact nature of it doesn't mean to murder him or to make him lost in the zone or whatever, but he likes the idea of a change of leadership. Does he want to hurt me? Does he, how did that modify to, does he want to stop you? No. There's no body language. There's nothing that's like, now, calm yourself. There's nothing like that. And does he want something from me? The look, the gesture in his eyes, holding his hand up, you get the feeling of patience. And he says, haste would not be an ally here. Opportunities may present themselves. Continue on.
Of course.
Let us continue to enhance, support the Ark. We've already started some great works. Let us continue those for now.
On that note, I'll finish my day by working on the annual rites.
Okay.
I'll roll a quick manipulate. And, you know, I'm going to push it because the system lets me put these. I need MP points, Andy. And it's finished, and I'm down empty. Perfect. Awesome.
You just got it back up. 1 point of empathy, though. Alright. So, well, you got 1 success, and that's enough to complete the annual rites.
Do you want to roll a d6 for culture?
Yep, you want to make the roll. 4, there we go. So, Callum, what's going on? If you want to open up the, in the where your character sheet is one called the runway. And it's kind of like the character sheet of the arc. And there's 4 attributes: food, culture, technology, and warfare. And then there's a number of different projects that you guys undertake, that you choose them. And you carry out, there's different roles. It should come up on the projects tab to start with. There's different roles that you make to make these things happen. So they built the bridge that you guys drove across. They made defenses. They built the crops. They built this temple where Vinny and Oskarshin are. Oskarshin is the spiritual leader of the Ark. I don't know if I explained all these people to you. I think I did briefly when I made your character. Okay. Anyway, culture. Oh, what is it?
It's only at 9. I had changed it from 5 to 9 before you got in there.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It got raised twice. Okay. So culture is why, lack of culture actually is why partly why the arc is so unstable with personalities and emotions. It's a borderline mob rule mentality. And they've contributing technological items helps build up the technology. Building defenses and other things helps build up the warfare, so that's in case you're raided. And then food improves the health.
Right.
And I'm going to add here, so water source, small water purifier plus the pure plant. Okay, we're about to wrap up in time here. So, is anyone wanting to contribute any sort of work for the remainder of the day for the burial site? That's then another.
Can we, with the time that we've arrived?
It's not a full day. No, I guess not. Not for that, because it's more physical, but.
Yeah, we just got back from a big old journey. I'm not going to work today. I'm going to rest. Besides, I'm kind of pissed. I need to just go off by myself for a while, so wander off to a corner of the airport where there's like a bush that grows some good berries, and just pick them off and eat them.
All right, Rumi, you were saying something?
Would I be able to contribute to the burial site?
Yes, because the assembly ended some time ago, and it's actually been 3 to 4 hours. Actually, probably closer to 4. So.
And it ended with wanting to bury the 2 murdered.
Indeed,
victims.
indeed, it is. So let's manipulate or heal.
Yeah, so I'm going to perform the first burial ceremony with manipulate. So we'll see how it goes.
Single success.
Oh, there we go. I didn't see that one. That's good.
4 successes remain to complete this.
I gathered here today. Put to rest Jace and Victor. Two friends who we all have fond memories of. Hold them in our hearts. May the ancestors watch over them.
Okay. Any other business from anyone, or shall I jump to experience points?
I can go to experience.
Oh, I have 1 point of rot, by the way. I've spent at least a day in the Ark. I can decontaminate, I think.
Let's see. Let's see, how does that work? I forget how that works again.
I think you lose a point of rot for every day you spend in the Ark, but every time you lose a point of rot, you roll to see if it's permanent.
All right.
And I assume that's what the button on the sheet is. I'll just test that. So I assume I'm okay.
Yeah, let's see. Every time you suffer a rot point, roll a number of base dice. That's only when you suffer a new point.
So I thought it was when you remove it.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, yes.
Decon.
Every time you're about to lose one rot point, roll one base die. If you roll a hazard, the point stays and becomes permanent. Okay, so you've lost your point, and it hasn't become permanent. All right. And of course, I forget the spot where the experience point section is, like always.
Can't tell what permanent rot actually does by reading this.
It's when you get a
use
new
rot
rot.
level.
When you get a new rot point, you have to make a roll, and it has as many dice as you have points. So if it's permanent, that means there's always an extra.
Oh. Interesting.
Although the mechanicals don't have to worry about it. Okay, here we go.
You can just-
Seems for
hide
alien
it.
radiation.
Sorry.
It's the same system as alien uses for radiation.
Yes. Yes. All right. Let me get Trace's character sheet up so I can do her experience. Okay, Callan, there's a number of questions that is asked, and if you answer yes to any of them, then you get 1 point of experience. And experience is recorded at the top of your top right of your character sheet. Some of them, not all of them, apply. All right. Did you participate in the session? Yes. So that's 1 point. Did you perform a day's work for a project in the Ark? And that's only going to be McKellen. No, McKellen and Vinny, sorry. Did you explore at least one new sector in the zone? That's going to be yes for Rand because he's never been to the Ark. But for the rest of you, you've already gotten that point when you went out to the island. So you don't get another one. So that's 2 for Rand so far. Did you sacrifice or risk something for your PC buddy? And who is...
think so.
Trace is a buddy of Orson, or that Orson is her buddy. She didn't sacrifice or risk something, did she? No, not really. She didn't get a chance to because the creature was killed so quickly. She positioned
Yeah.
herself next to him. You guys aren't even
Yeah.
OP yet, you know? And I'm going to have to... A whole team of Hell Riders are going to have to come down on you guys, I think. All right.
Well, when it's just one opponent, it's easy if they
Yeah.
get a crappy initiative for that to happen.
Yeah, would have been very different if they got a higher initiative, but yeah. All right, Callum, you won't have a PC buddy yet 'cause you've just joined them, but
Yeah.
all right.
Well, Saul's character, kind of.
Probably will develop into that. Yes,
They had a nice moment today.
yes, they did. All right. Did you sacrifice or risk something for the NPC you want to keep safe?
I would say yes on that because I'm always trying to protect the Kodiaks, and I think that I took a big risk in having us go fight that monster to try to make sure that we were better supplied and everything.
Okay, I'll give it.
Almost want to update mine from Pontiac to Escartian now.
You're welcome. These can change quickly. I mean, you know, you can make that change. There's not like experience points you have to spend to change your relationships. So yeah, Callum, you're encouraged to choose a PC buddy, and then an NPC you want to keep safe. It could be not, so it's got to be an NPC, not a PC. But as you get used to the NPCs around you, then that may become apparent later. All right, 2 more questions. Did you sacrifice or risk something to mess with the NPC you hate? Vinny?
Oh, yeah.
And
And I would say in the assembly, I was trying to throw shade at Escartian. So I was pointing out how Katinka saved us as mechanical, and that we should trust in the methods of the ancestors and not listen to the Sentinels.
oh yes, you did. Yep. Maximon, do you have a hatred? Not Maximon, Orson.
Mine is the I forget the name of the gang right now, but
Oh, the Hell Riders.
the Hell Riders. Yeah, so they don't usually come up.
No. They will eventually.
When we go through a Hellrider arc, you'll get an XP every session for it.
Yes, you will. And the last question. Did you sacrifice or risk something to reach your big dream?
And yeah, when I would say when I counted Vinny, I'm trying to, and I revealed the Eden card. I'm trying to keep things stable so we can get to Eden.
Okay. Trey says she wants nothing more than to free her fellow robots from Mechatron 7, so that's very specific. It's a bit of a stretch, freeing Ran.
I feel like that's too specific even for the way this campaign's evolving. It could be edited and to be worded in a way that would give her one for even saving Ran.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Callum, you need to have a big dream. As well as a sentient robot, you'll have something that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
I think I might edit mine too. One day I want to swim through a vault filled with bullets and see Maximon dead.
Nice.
Callum, I'll let you retcon one, but although, what would you think a big dream would be for you? Or if you think it's something that you can't think of on the fly here?
I can't think of something on the fly.
All right. So you see, developing these things are key to getting more experience points.
Yeah.
So I would ask of you to go through and do that at some point before we play again.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody want to spend any experience points?
Yeah, I'm spending 5 to get Manipulate 2.
Yeah, it's just 5 for a point of anything, right?
Yes. And it doesn't go exponential. So 5 from 2 to a 3, 5 from 3 to a 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take my Dominate up to 3.
Gosh, I'm really tempted. So I want to take Seer as my multi-class. And I'm thinking of I could tie it in today's session, like this emotional collapse, talking to Escartian, working on the annual rites, and Vinny suddenly gets like a vision.
But this was, I thought you were wanting to build up, what was that? It was a talent.
Well, so I meant make a deal 4, so it's I could put that at 5 to max it, but I also don't really necessarily need to, like that 1 extra dice. I feel like becoming a seer just like really thematically fit today's session. Like,
Yeah, you're right.
I think I might do that.
So what is it? It's a talent, isn't it? If I remember right.
It's a general talent called Jack of all trades or something. Jack of all trades. Yeah, adopt a new role. Achieve skill level 1 in the special skill. You can no longer improve your special skill of your old role.
Man, what if while you were like arguing with Maximon and stuff, that you started getting visions of potential futures, like
And
different
that's, like,
ways
why
it could
I collapsed.
split off, and yeah, that's why you collapsed during it.
Ooh.
Dude, yeah, it like feels right.
Well, let's
Like
do it.
You weren't even sure which reality you were in at the time.
So I become a seer and I get scry 1. The talent gain requires more experience than others. You can't get until you've learned at least 3 other. Oh, okay. No, I make that requirement. But I have to buy the seer's talents. So I can't actually kill NPCs yet until I get 5 more XP. Yeah, that really fits like what's going on. So now I can just scry.
It says you
Back to 0.
can't get new talents tied to the role.
No, I can't take Jack of all trades unless I've already got 3 other talents total. Which I do. It just prevents you from doing it like as your second. It's like a way to prevent you from min-maxing.
Got it.
You can't just become Jack of all trades immediately. You have to have spent the talent money or talent. XP.
Oh, I see. But you can never get new talents tied to the seer role.
Tied to fixer. I can't get fixer talents anymore. Same reason I can't make a deal.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Because I'm just not a fixer
Got
anymore.
it. I read this wrong. Yes. Sorry. For some reason I was saying that it meant you couldn't get talents for being a seer.
I thought it was written a little weirdly as well. Yeah.
But now when I read it back again, it's really crystal clear. So it's okay. Whatever.
It's just written weird.
So now
There's no good way to look at what scry does. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this.
what do you mean? You can.
When I go into the player section of Gen Lab and look at your animal, the scry link is broken.
Oh, just go to on the briefcase icon. There's a whole folder of skills, and click it. Then you can read all about it.
There we go. Okay, perfect.
I can see you using that a lot.
Yeah. Oh man, this is so perfect too because the talent I'm going for is Death Visions, and so I will literally be able to kill Maximon whenever I want using that talent.
This is why you took it.
It's all just ties in so perfectly. That's not going to happen for a while though.
All right, and the last bit of maintenance, we need to roll to see who died.
Nice.
So, Callan, this is the thing, that this world is deadly. So, the Ark, we started with 200 people. And at the end of each session, you roll a d6, and we subtract 1 from it because we've built up our food supply to see how many people died, and then we roll to see who it is. We've got a spreadsheet. Speaking of which, Saul has had access to the spreadsheet, and I've shared it with you, but I can't see where the hell I've shared it.
I've got it open. I'll put it back in the Discord.
How do you have it?
I'll just put it.
How do you find it each time? I was
It
gonna.
was in. Just have to scroll back a while. I think it's
Oh.
in general.
Well, we can pin it.
I just put it in resources now.
I'm gonna pin that message of yours. so we can always find it. Never have to do that again. Okay. Callum, you're new to the group. How about you do the roll?
Okay.
And down the
It's
right.
D6 in it.
Yeah, down the right hand corner there's a dice roller. Just click the square. 1 minus 1 means 0. No one died today. That's the only time we've had that.
Yeah.
What was
I'm
that?
like,
See there?
Thanks to the fresh water.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.